Anthony, I got my booster shot yesterday, so I'm all a little wiggy-wommy today. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes.
I heard that you got the booster and they were so excited they sent the fire department.
They sure did. We'll tell you more right after this.
I'm Anthony. Welcome to No Vacancy Live. That's my friend Glenn.
You're watching the #1 show in hospitality. Hey, everybody. We got Anthony Melchiori over there. I, of course,
What's up?
This is December 21st. You're watching No Vacancy Live. Happy first day of winter. Anthony, it only gets better from this. The days start to get brighter. Things start to get a little sunnier.
So talk about the fire department, my friend.
All right, so I'm in there. I'm all excited. I'm at the good old Walgreens, and I give them my vaccination card because they need to update it, and I'll fill out all the paperwork and stuff. I'm like, just sit down. Just take a minute or two. We'll be right with you. No worries. So I go. I start looking around Walgreens because I want to see if they have a good deal on, some Advil or something like that. And I hear the fire alarm goes off, and I'm right by the restrooms, which all say out of order. And then this woman comes running out of the restroom and goes walking out of the store real fast. Next thing I know, they're like, everyone out of the store. You got to get out. And they've got my Vax card held hostage in the back room like that. I felt like a little while there having to sit out in the parking lot waiting for the fire engines to come and make sure.
So let me ask you a question. When they hold your vaccine hostage, they have a gun at the vaccine and you're not leaving until the fire department leaves?
I did feel a little bit like a political prisoner, like I could not leave the country. My passport was seized. And, I'm out of luck. So it was very
you are a political prisoner. You are a political prisoner. You live on Long Island, bro. If that highway is packed, you're a prisoner.
Point well taken. All right. So before we get to our show today, I'm really excited about it. A couple of quick notes. Number one, guys, don't forget about our good friends over at Radisson. I love their brands. They're making big changes over there. They make it so appealing to you guys, the developer. Please go check them out at Radisson Hotel Americas /EN-US/development. Tell them we sent you. Check out that Radisson Red. Really good brand. And also, Anthony, we had some good news last night.
What because that's not a
boys got into their first college last night.
So congratulations. Which college?
So they both got into Clark, which is up in Massachusetts. And it was really great. I felt so proud of them, and my eyes were welling up. And then when I realized what it was going to cost, then the tears really came at that point. So,
but you know what? Once they get into one college, you're just like, okay, they at least got into college. But let me give you advice. Tell them to go to plumbing or electric school.
Yeah, I listen. I just had the electrician here. I wrote a big check for him, so I totally understand where you're coming from on that one. All right, let's get on with it. What do you say?
I was reading the private chat. I think we should, and you're not going to believe it.
Yeah.
But I like you more today than I did yesterday.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, that's because we had a little chance to catch up on the phone this morning. Yeah. All right. Did you want to, before we bring in David, did you want to mention anything about, COVID closing in on your house? I don't want to.
No, not at all. COVID,
all right.
There's no COVID in my house. Don't say that. Knock wood. I did want to talk about. There is, as I did yesterday, this spike is crazy.
I know.
If you look at the numbers, it's worse than it's ever been. But again, I just talked to a friend who's a doctor, and all the ICU beds, they're not filled up, but the ones that are have all unvaccinated patients.
And probably that have underlying conditions and other stuff as well. I'm feeling confident. I'm looking forward to a bright and happy holiday season, and to enjoy a little fun with us and learn more about what they're up to. David Martin, COO, Humanist Hospitality.
Hello.
Vision Hospitality Group. David, so great to see you, my friend.
Hey, good to be here. Thanks so much. Look forward to the conversation.
Hey, David, can you get a little closer to the microphone and the camera?
I can?
Yeah, there we go.
Put everything a little bit closer to you. There you go.
There we go.
We want to be able to really enjoy taking a good look at you. So David, tell us a little bit about Humanist Hospitality. I know you're a third-party management group. You've got some great hotels focused on lifestyle brands, some of the traditional brands out there as well. But I want to know a little bit about where you were born from and what the philosophy is and how it differs than one of your partners, Vision Hospitality Group, which we all know, everyone knows, I think, Mitch Patel over there.
Sure. Well, listen, Humanist Hospitality was born out of the pandemic.
Right.
we were looking for, as Vision Hospitality, and Mitch is a great visionary, we were looking for what the output of the pandemic was going to look like. We saw the struggles that our teams were going through, our home office was going through in the industry.
Right.
And look to see if we could create a management platform that would allow a highly credentialed organization to help serve the hospitality community on the back end of this. I think there's a lot of people that are questioning how far into management do they want to get versus just owning, operating, or owning hotels and investing in them. So we're here to provide that. And we really looked at, from Humanist perspective, how to focus in on our employees. We have a symbol now, it's two hands and a U that says it's all about you. And we really looked at how we can help our people make it through the pandemic. And then on the backside of the pandemic, how they can thrive in the industry. I believe personally that employers lost a lot of trust, or their employees have lost a lot of trust in employers globally, because they did absolutely nothing wrong and they were impacted. And so our view is coming out of this is, how do we double down in that relationship with our employees and help them thrive back and respect this industry again, and all industry. But hospitality, we really have to, in my mind, bring back the spirit of hospitality and the service that put us on the map and that made us who we are today.
Okay, David, as everyone knows on this show, we've been talking about this a lot. Is our number one problem. It is something that I talk off mic about, and I use a lot of curse words because I don't think a lot of people in our industry get it. I think a lot of people come on here, some people come on here, and I don't know if they really understand exactly what's happening. So I'm going to ask you some questions. You may want to get a pen and paper for this, because you're the first person to come up here, square up on us, and say we're figuring it out. So these are my questions, right? One, what are you doing different to retain people? That's a pretty easy one, because you probably have a good political statement about that. Number two, what are you doing as far as pay raises? Number three, flexible schedules. And number four, people that just don't want to work weekends and holidays and work overnights and things like that. And I will also say the good news is that this stat that everybody's looking at, that the Great Resignation, well, 90% of those people who are leaving are 55 and over. They're just, they're seeing their stock portfolio go up, and they're taking their retirement early. So this number is pretty skewed. So there are people willing to work. There are people coming to work, but they're tapping out pretty quick. I just had a conversation with somebody last night that's working in a hotel in New York City. The person wanted to come back. They gave them a chance to come back. 3 weeks later, they're gone. It's like, I didn't sign up for this. You didn't sign up for what? Craziness? It's crazy.
Right. So let's go back to get to that first question then, Anthony.
No, I have 7 more. No, I will have 7 more. But like, prove to me that you put your name. I mean, your name says it all. So prove to me that you're doing something that's more fundamental change than what other people are doing.
Well, a couple of things as it relates to, we no longer call our employees or associates. They're all now partners to us. And so
are they getting a percentage? Are they getting a percentage of the hotel?
I just handed out 1,400 checks in the last 8 days at all my hotels.
And what are they for?
It was profit share. We created a profit share program that says,
you got my attention.
You are now my partner, and it's life partner, wife partner, partner, business partner. They are our partners now. So we have differentiated ourselves by putting our money where our mouth is and giving every housekeeper and every front office person and every manager a check at varying degrees, but they all got recognized. That just happened this last week.
So far, you jumped over my bullshit meter. Okay.
Well, the second thing we did, our organization has always had a sabbatical program, but it was a have and have not mentality. I mean, not by intention, just by design.
Right.
And so what we did was, through COVID, we want to make sure we recognize everyone. So we busted that apart and made a program so that after 5 years, 10 years, we recognize every employee, and every employee will get additional paid time off and an additional bonus to take that time off. And we're doing that ASAP as part of our rollout program that we launched in September of this year. So two things that we're doing from an economic perspective that aligns us are those two things. Mm-hmm. In addition, we've doubled down in training. We have our own training program. We have what we call a Gear Up program that allows employees to become supervisors, managers, general managers, and so on. And there's a criteria and coursework that we've created internally that allows people to feel progression along the way. And I think what we need to do is that train, educate, and give opportunity. So if we can help to compensate and we can help develop, I think we're winning the war here. And it is a war in my mind.
Yeah, well, so everything you said makes sense, and everything you said is putting your money where your mouth is, and that's what we need to do. And I think that when you call somebody partners, they better be receiving a check, whether it be for $500 or whether it be for $50,000, and because then it starts to resonate with me, and then it starts to show, okay, they're putting their money where their mouth is, and what's going to happen is as people are coming on, you're going to see if that percentage that the other employees are getting is enough for them to be motivated to get those employees that are coming on and say, hey, come on, you do get a bonus, there is a profit share, and that's how you get their family and friends to come on over. And, again, I don't know what they are. I don't know what the work environment is, but you're saying all the right things.
Well, we hope we're not just saying it. I mean, the goal is to do it and actualize what we're doing to get the result that we're looking for. And I think so far it's been obviously well received. Right. Just in the last 10 days, traveling around with Mitch and I both going to the hotels and providing that stack of checks and saying a personal thank you. So
yeah, well, I'm skeptical simply because I trusted Glenn and everything comes out of his mouth.
Fair enough. But
are you starting? I'm sorry, Glenn. Just one more other question. I'll shut up for a minute. What are you starting to see it translate into people coming to work and wanting to work for you?
Well, again, it's just actualizing today. The checks just hit. I think that will resonate. To your point, in the old days, we would have family members working in multiple family members in a hotel and in a department or throughout the hotel. And I think this act that we just did, I believe, will permeate through the family and through their friends and family that they want to come work for us. So we believe that going forward. There's another part that we did is I brought in an in-house recruiter, particularly on the hourly side, to help us recruit real time because we know that the leadership at the individual hotels asset level are really up to their eyebrows, making rooms and checking people in and bussing tables. So we're trying to take the pressure points off of our managers so that we can do that. We can help them on board so that they're not tied up trying to do everything at the same time.
Could you imagine having this conversation 2 years ago? Hey, I'm going to bring on a personnel director so you can bust tables. Is that good? Yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
I'm now the GM's like, thank you for real. Yeah. So how is this actually playing out in practicality in terms of your retention rate currently and your overall numbers of people compared to what they were prior to the pandemic?
Well, let me start with the easier question. Pre-pandemic, we had roughly 1,500 employees. We're up to today about 1,400 employees. However, we've added 7 hotels since the pandemic. We were building and developing through the pandemic and opening up hotels across the country or predominantly in the Southeast. And so I don't want to skew the numbers. We really should be at about 16 to 18.
Yep.
So there is a layer that we still need to hire or replace contract with our employees. And we're hoping that this step takes us down the path of bringing our people on and being a part of our culture and being part of the family so that we're not dependent on contract, which I think has escalated tremendously in the last 18 months from a price perspective, or a cost.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. And, to really have it right there, Humanist, as your name there with hospitality, you really have to check everything all the time. So how are you planning on maintaining all of these standards? Because it sounds like you're off to a great start, but a lot of companies slip and they start moving backwards. What's the plan to make sure that everything remains the same and more things can just be added rather?
Well, all of our programming, which we're excited about this is launching as we speak. I've got it on my phone. We have an app that we created that literally has all of our programs for all of our associates at a touch of a button. It's tied to our new payroll system, HRIS system that we're just putting in as we speak. We're rolling out, and next week is the first payroll under the new system. But we've taken all of those processes and put them on our phone. They can check in and check out. They can see their SOPs. They can make vacation requests. They can do the things that they need to do to keep everything alive. We wanted to put it on their phone. Everyone's on their phone. That's how we communicate today.
And
So
what's the software you use to do that?
Well, we're using Paycom as the payroll system that we're integrating as we speak. But I will get you the actual technology that created the website, or the actual app. But it's actually a button that says Humanist Hospitality. I click it, and everything for an employee relations perspective resides there. So if they need time off or they need assistance, we have everything in one location.
Linda says that's amazing, but if you think about it, it should be. Like we should have been as a hotel industry. We should have had it 5 years ago. I still remember when I was at the Plaza Hotel. Every Wednesday, I would go in the Oak Room,
right,
and I would get all the vacation requests, everything, all the schedules, all the occupancy, the check-ins, check-outs, the banquets, the catering, the groups, and I would do what time they're coming in, what time are they departing, and it literally would take me after check-in from 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock to schedule the front desk, the bellman, doorman, and concierge. It was a nightmare.
Yeah. Right. It probably took hours and hours, and now it's all being done on a system, and nobody has to spend all of the time doing that. Right, David? So not only are you increasing satisfaction amongst your partners and at the property levels, but it sounds like you're saving time for the ones that would be doing that as well, allowing them to focus on more important issues. That's
exactly right. In addition, we're implementing a new BI system here for the organization that we're trying to streamline the paperwork for the management, because the historical requirements has been so laborious through using Excel and everything else that there's too much redundancy. So we're trying to minimize the need for the leadership at the property to sit at the desk for hours doing administrative work, where we should be able to have information real time. And Anthony, I'll tell you, I agree with you. You know, the hospitality industry has been like the Titanic as relates to innovation and technology. We've got to, everyone has to get on board as fast as they can and help facilitate that.
I was last night, Porcelanosa, Andy, asked me to be part of this group. He sent me a VR headset, and we had our Christmas party last night. So I went to the Christmas party. Of course, I had to call him up 100 times and say, how do I use this? He didn't know. But anyway, we figured it. Matter of fact, if you're listening, Andy, I didn't see you at the Christmas party, so you were probably having technical issues. I heard you, and then you disappeared. But anyway, you go into this ship that it brings you into this party. And you literally, if anybody's done this, have you guys done this yet? It's really cool. You literally, I'm talking to you, like I see you across the room. I hit you with a laser. It comes up with your name, and then it asks you if you want to be my friend. And if you do, I can come over to you, and we talk, and then we walk around. Me and this guy David from Port Mendoza, we're walking around the party looking for Andy. We're going up the stairs, down the stairs. It was really, really cool. And when I get out of it, I was having to do it with my wife, and she said, that's so weird. I said, I'll be honest with you. Once I took it off, it was weird coming back into the world. Right. I can absolutely see myself having meetings with my team and having Christmas parties and literally, I was just like, this really works. Like I felt very much that I was with my team, that I was with people. I really did.
Well, the great part is you don't have a whole bunch of dishes at the end of the party to clean. They're all in their own house,
and nobody was wearing masks.
This message is brought to you by Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah.
You know what? I listen, regardless if it's Mark Zuckerberg or it's somebody else, it worked. Listen, whether you look at Amazon or you look at Facebook or you look at Google, you can blame all the billionaires. You can blame all, what's his name's going to pay $11 billion in taxes this year. Okay. So you can blame them all. If their crap didn't work, and we didn't become obsessed with it. We didn't become obsessed with Teslas and Amazon. They just invented a better mousetrap. Are we mad at the person that invented the mousetrap? Are we mad that the person that invented how to pasteurize milk? Are we mad at Edison for inventing electricity? We got to get over this bullshit of being mad at capitalists.
I've got a bone to pick with Louis Pasteur, so I don't want to go down that.
What? Vinny Pasteur? What did he say?
The guy who invented pasteurization, Louis Pasteur.
Oh! I didn't hear what you said. I missed it.
Sorry, I am feeling a little bit bleh.
No, but what I'm saying is, if technology works, a lot of times we put technology into the hotel business. That doesn't work because we think we just want to be next. We want to be Marriott or Hilton. We want to be a management company that beats the other management company. And the guest says, no, we don't want that. Okay, a guest wants text messaging. Okay, for ever and ever, we were against text messaging because it's not first class. Bullshit. They want it. Give it to them.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I think we have a big opportunity. I mean, housekeeping is obviously the biggest challenge we're facing on a day-to-day basis. You know, if Uber can have that instant grade me, tip me in one motion, no one's carrying cash today. So to be able to tip the housekeeper that cleaned your room by hitting a button, you'll probably get a lot more money than the dollar or whatever they have in their pocket. And so why don't we? I mean, I know there's people out there just now starting to do it or have been doing it, but
I think we had somebody on our. I think we had somebody on our podcast last week, right?
Oh, really?
Or 2 weeks ago or something like that. Yeah, I think that's the way of the future because we
Absolutely.
just don't have that cash, and it's a great way to be. You know, we're in a tipping culture. It's a great way to remind people to do it.
Sure.
Which is
that's another reason why everybody should be watching this podcast.
That's right.
By the way, we won the best podcast at Show You Our Award, and the reason being is because you talk about new technology, and we had somebody on. The podcast.
Hey, look at that!
And
Beautiful.
Yeah, and so it's really, really, really important that we stay very close to not only our guests and our employees, but that we listen with an open mind, and we don't. I think the greatest gift Arnie Sorensen had was when he listened, people knew he was listening, and he would change standards, and he would pull people into meetings, executive teams. I've heard this story so many times over and over again, based on a housekeeper or based on the front desk or based on a guest, and say, hey, have we thought of this? Have we thought of that? And listen, we all know it gets comfortable when you have a nice car and you have a nice house and you have a nice desk and you wear a nice suit and you get to go to lunch with clients. It gets comfortable. Yo, if I had $1 for every time me and Glenn heard a general manager or an executive on this show says, wow, I haven't cleaned the room in 20 years.
Right. Yeah.
Well, shame on you. You should be cleaning rooms every year, at least once a year. When I was a general manager, I cleaned a room once. I like to say I cleaned it over and over. I cleaned it once, and it freaked me out, and I never did it again.
I love that you're right. You stand up for what you believe and do what you say. So that's
I always say I make the rules. I may not follow them.
Right.
I make them.
David, I mean, we've talked to a lot of folks about technology and stuff. So how are you utilizing it in a smart way to continue to engage your partners and continuing to improve operations to create an overall environment that people love to work within and guests love to be a part of as well?
Well, I would go back to our app on the phone. We have a training monitor in every break room in all of our hotels where we put on training seminars to connect. I send out every day happy birthdays and anniversary notes to the staff. I mean, I do things that try to stay in touch. And at the end of the month, I've got 42 financials to review. Those that hit it get a personalized note saying, hey, thanks, keep up the great work. We've got 11 months to go, or whatever the case is. So try to stay in touch with the people on a day-to-day basis. It's all human connection. If we lose human connection, I know technology helps us, but we just have to stay connected through technology to make sure that.
I got to tell you, the metaverse thing, to me, felt like I was connecting. And that could be, if nobody can get together, that is not a bad second. It's a lot better. I even think it's better than Zoom, because in Zoom, like we're all looking at each other and no one wants to say the wrong thing. I was walking around and I felt very comfortable. Matter of fact, I was overhearing conversations. I was like, I don't know if you really want to be having that conversation because I can hear you. And so it was kind of cool. It really felt better than a Zoom. It really did.
Sure.
Wow. That's pretty interesting. So David?
Well, again, I think another opportunity we've got to figure out from an industry perspective. Did a project assignment as a president for Sunwing Travel up in Toronto, Canada. Mm-hmm. They have an airline, and one of the things the understanding of that we have to do a better job of giving our inventory to anybody who wants it for 364 days a year and having a 24-hour cancellation policy. We've got to figure out how to stop that and behave in a way that our inventory is valuable, and we need to make sure that there we go. We're all masked up now.
Yeah. I hear you on that one. All right. So guys, speaking of Sunwing, check out our show from May 21st, 2021, where we focused on Sunwing. We talked about their all-inclusive resorts, It's Blue Diamond resorts. And we also spoke to Brian King, the president of Marriott International, on that show, as well as Jürgen Stutz. So that was a really good one. Oh, look at him. He's back. It looks like he's doing someone else's show.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to take it off until you recognized me. But it's good. I was doing the boxing game the other night, man. It was so cool.
That's cool. There's a boxing game?
Yeah, there's a lot of games. It's you can watch Netflix on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there any content designed for it specifically?
Yeah, I guess. I'm not sure. I just got it. Porcelanosa, thank you, Andy. We're having fun. Everybody in my family starting to use it. And I think, listen, when these things don't look so ridiculous, and I think you're going to see a lot of people using it. And like I said, I see this technology truly helping our company, our industry. If you say you have, and I'm sure people are working on this already, but say you have the Plaza Hotel. And I don't know, for some reason, you can't get there. You're in Italy or the pandemic continues. And if there is a VR component, to it, that makes all the difference. I can see an actual wedding or a Sweet 16 where everybody can't come together doing it through VR. It was that realistic.
Wow.
Yeah.
I still want to fill my hotel though. So I don't want, there's got to be no vacancies, right?
That's right. And that's why you got to keep watching it here.
That's right.
Yeah, live. But David, you're absolutely right. But I don't think, no matter what you talk about with virtual, it can really take the place of amazing experiences. And that's
absolutely not. Absolutely
not. That's what you're all about right now, right? Making sure that your staff or your partners are in the right mindset in order to be able to deliver incredible service. So I guess the next thing I got to ask is, are you seeing this attitude reflect in guest service scores? How's that playing out?
Well, we've always had as an organization, again, a strong culture that has always provided that attention to detail with the guests and that interaction. So I feel that, the programming that I'm expressing, we rolled out in September, we're moving forward with. So the actual output, but I feel that the more satisfied our partners are, the better their attitudes and willingness to connect with the guests. So, that continues at a strong pace. We've always had strong guest satisfaction scores as a company. We're expanding and growing. So I think as a management platform, it's exporting these skills to other people who need management services. That is all part of what we're trying to get done. So as we roll with this and we integrate it and we get the data points that you're referencing, we'll know better how to pivot and not pivot, or where to pivot as we continue to roll things out. The key is to stay in it, engaged, and innovate every day, and figure out what's next and how best to engage with our guests and our partners.
What are you doing for, like, one of the things that we've spoken about is that there's a younger, general managers are younger than they were even when I was growing up. When I was growing up, I was 29 years old as a general manager at a major hotel in New York City. And that was really, really young. Now you're hearing of general managers at 25, 26. They're running maybe limited service hotels, but there's still a lot of things to know at 25 and 26.
Yeah.
I think that that's really a great opportunity for a young person to take over and run a real business. But what are the things that you're focused on from training to really get them up to speed? Because a lot of general managers, young general managers, don't even know what a P&L is.
Right. No, agree. Well, Anthony, I'll digress for a second. I was a general manager of a 189 room full service hotel with a 200 seat country bar at the age of 23 in Tacoma, Washington.
You were?
And I'd never been in the hotel business. I worked for McDonald's Corporation.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you one up me, but what?
No, I'm not trying to do that.
Genius,
I'm just saying from a relatability perspective.
No, but what I'm saying, but let me just interrupt for a second. I was going to ask the question of what genius or what moron gave you that job?
Actually, he's a genius. He's a kind soul. I'm still in touch with him. In fact, he works with me here at Humanist Hospitality. I've stayed friends with him over the years. An incredible man, but he took a risk. He didn't tell me, though, candidly, that it was in foreclosure when I left my solid job. But I actually ran it for 2.5 years. We sold it. We didn't lose it, and then the track just took off. But relating to younger people, I've got 4 kids of every generation. I've been doing that for a while too. So from 22 to 43. But understanding who they are, where they are today, I think is really critical. Giving opportunity, though, and taking a little bit of risk is important. But staying close, mentorship, I think, is really a key component of great leadership or an organization that can provide that support. Because I agree with you. Today's generation, they don't really know what the P&L is. And so we train that. So to answer your question, in our Gear Up program, it's almost like a university class internally. We train those department managers that want to be GMs over a semester period. They have to apply, they have to get accepted, they have to interview. We make them go through the traps. We take them through the educational components through our internal university, both online and in the building, in our home offices. And we provide that because it's important. They have to walk out knowing how to run a business. It's great that they're great at checking people in, but they have to understand in sequence the shareholders' needs and understanding of financial and the guest and the employee relation component is a trilogy.
And nowadays, if you don't understand revenue management and balance sheets, like I remember being in a meeting, every one of these words I didn't know when I was in a meeting, somebody used it. LIBOR, EBITDA, and balance sheet. And I didn't know, early in my career when somebody asked me that question, or thank God no one asked me directly, but it was in the meeting, and I would then go and look it up and know what it was, so I wouldn't be embarrassed. But if somebody asked me, but I didn't know. I knew how to check somebody in, and I knew that the room needed to be cleaned by 3:00. And I knew the union rules, but I didn't know how to run a business. And I remember when I took over as asset manager when I was at Tishman, and Dave Bagwell said to me, he goes, "You used to be in the hotel business. Now you're in the business of hotels." Well, all general managers should learn how to be in the business of hotels, because we are so, especially as operators, because we are so emotionally attached to the hotel, to the bricks, to the team, that we get clouded when we have to make financial decisions that impact the team. If you understand the impact of it from a global perspective, that the owner may lose the hotel, or the owner won't be able to grow the company, then you can make better decisions. Because I remember a lot of times where owners made decisions that I was against, but because I didn't understand that it was for the good of the team. It was to grow the hotel.
Well, and agree. Again, I look at our profit share, the whole intent around that, even through the gifting of these in front of all the employees. We talked about that balance, and this is part of that. We want to share with you to keep you focused on it's a business first. Completely agree. And the product is a hotel, and we all have guests and bosses, regardless of what your title is. So it's called the bank.
Well, since you're on the show, and this is part of your marketing to get people out to know about your company. We're part of your marketing team, so we expect a check. So thank you very much.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. And let me earn it right now. Come stay at the beautiful Kinley Hotel in Chattanooga.
I saw it.
Collection.
Yes, thank you.
Could you do the rest of the show like that?
Yeah.
Partly cloudy, storms coming in.
Yeah.
You would have been a good weatherman. You would have been a really good weatherman. What was David Letterman's first job? Do you know?
Weatherman. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Of course you. Do you know he was on Friends? No, Friends. Was it Friends or Seinfeld? Yeah, he was on one of those. Either Friends
Probably
or
Seinfeld, I would think.
Yeah,
Yes.
Seinfeld. He was on
Yeah.
Seinfeld early on as the obnoxious teacher or something. I saw a clip of it on the show. Anyway, on a plane. All right, so let's take us out because I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
All right. So, Dave, before we wrap up today, what message do you want people to leave with? And I assume, since you're understaffed, where can they find you guys if they're interested in becoming one of the partners at Humanist Hospitality?
Well, www.humanisthospitality.com. I'll say that 3 times before I'm through. Just kidding. Listen, the message is, I think as an industry, we need to innovate. We need to create Humanist Hospitality. And I believe every business needs to realize who their true constituents are. We need to focus on our staff. We need to rebuild trust in every industry, but in hospitality, that this is a viable, strong career, and it's an opportunity to grow, a stepping stone, whatever it may be for you as an individual. So I really believe as an industry in hospitality is first. The human connection is the most important part of what we do. And I say, let's go have a lot of fun. This business should be fun every day. It shouldn't be so heavy. We need to engage and celebrate our guests, celebrate our staff, and just really enjoy what we're doing. That's why we're in hospitality. That's why it's in my blood. I love taking care of the needs of others, and that's a service in me.
Beautiful. David, have a merry, happy holiday season, and we'll see you on the road in 2022. Thank you.
I look forward. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, David.
Bye-bye. That was great, Anthony. I mean, really, finally, someone putting their money where their mouth is, right?
Well, listen, if you're going to put the name, of what you're doing in the name of your company, and you come on the show and everybody knows this isn't a rehearsed show, right. I asked a very pointed question and he answered it properly and professionally. And I would literally look at his company if I was going to run a hotel, because the number one priority is profit. And for a hotelier, that it's got to be the number one priority has got to be profit, right? So if it's profit, the way to get the profit is the number one priority is got to be employees, right? So you have to have 2 number one priorities. Right. You have to really take care of them where they feel protected. And it's like, we're here to make money. We make money, you make money. And I'd even go one step further. I would take a P&L, and I don't know if they do this, and show them how the P&L flows to the bottom. Mm-hmm. Now, there's obviously salaries and stuff involved, but I would take that out and just show them just top line, GOP to the GOP, to show them how costs are and what happens when you go to overtime and what happens when you don't worry about food costs and what happens when we waste money. So I think he's onto something, and I think he's going to be it's successful, and it's going to continue to be successful. And if he really markets this right to the right people, because there's a whole contingent of people that don't care. They don't want to do profit sharing. They don't want to take care of their employees. They want as much money as possible. That's not his client. Right. Nope. That is absolutely right. Great. So we're going to follow this story as it develops and see how it continues. And they've got great properties. They've got a Moxie in Denver. They've got a Residence Inn in Atlanta, one in Nashville. They've got a Loft Hotels in Tennessee, that aforementioned Kinley. There's also one in Ohio, Elements, a lot of great brands, Hamptons, all sorts of stuff. All right. Let's wrap this thing up for today. Since I'm feeling a little bit blah, I will be hopefully in better feelings tomorrow. Who are we talking to tomorrow? I don't even remember who we're talking to tomorrow, but it's gonna be, design. We're gonna do a design show tomorrow, so stick around for that. Everybody, you love looking at us. Sometimes you just can't. So check out the audio version. Find our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts. Well, we are there. And for some crazy reason, if we're not,
let me know, and I'll make sure we are there so you can get new shows delivered to you every day that we put them out. He's at Anthony Hotels. I'm at Traveling Glenn. All right. I think he's looking at our guest Belinda O'Kelly right now, working on a project. So that'll be tomorrow's show. All right. Let's get out of here, Anthony. Remember, Anthony, you've got one life, so box on and
be kind to yourself.
see you tomorrow.